Okay, everybody, this is my spoiler review of episode 4 of Stranger Things season 4, Dear Billy. This was written by Paul Dichter and directed by Sean Levy. Now, like all my reviews for this season, please do not have spoilers for anything that is past this episode, only episodes 1 through 4. I'm going to be doing every single episode, but I have only seen the first 4 at this point, so let's just stick on the first 4. No talking about anything past this. Keep it fresh and no spoilers for everybody. Okay, so this is one of those episodes that is pure gold. And it's one of those episodes where you sit there and you realize, like, this is better than any movie I've seen this year. It's so good. And why I say that is everything that's been kind of set up this season is getting its payoffs already. And you are getting so much of everything. Like, I can't believe how many different types of genres I saw in one episode, but also exciting types of scenes and genres you would see. And what is so brilliant about this episode is that every character, all these characters they have to write into this story connect, but also they all have conflict. They all have something, an objective to do. No one's around here just sitting twiddling their thumbs. And as serious as this season's got, it still blends in great humor at points. But what's so special about Stranger Things, and it has been, is that in every season there is a great pace to it, and it's done by a team, whether it's the editors, writers, directors, that is definitely aware of audience and how they can get bored, and that it's constantly making sure you're engaged, and they know really well how to cut scenes, when to stop scenes, not let things drag on, and that everything's kind of serving a purpose. So this episode to me was just a case study of how to do that really well. Now, it's a big episode. This is why I wanted to do every episode on its own review, because seeing that there was going to be hour and a half episodes or like their own movies, this doesn't deserve justice to talk about an episode like this in a big season review. It needs to be its own kind of breakdown because there's so much meat to it. So basically, we start in this storyline here with Jonathan, Will, and Mike, and they're basically on house arrest, which they reference, and they're being watched by these agents. And there's a great scene here with Mike and Will and having this moment of hurt that is kind of seen relieved on Will's face, and that Mike is finally saying that how much he values him and how much he misses him. But we know there's underlying thing. It's got to be obvious. I'm like an idiot if I'm wrong here that Will, has feelings for Mike, and that whatever is on that poster has to do with Mike. And again, they show us that poster. He was about to open it up and didn't when Jonathan came in. So we're kind of waiting for that, but it's a nice little setup and quiet moment between Mike and Will. But what was really just done so well in the writing about everything that's going on at the Byers house is that there's like a misdirect here of what we're used to Stranger Things, where Jonathan would make a plan of them to get out of the situation they're in. He's already saying that, thinking of the pizza place and thinking of Argyle. But where they misdirect us is you think that that's going to all go smoothly, and I'm just kind of assuming that he's going to pick them up, but it gets your head in that nice touching moment with Mike and Will, and then the military shows up at the door. That totally shocked me and was effective, and it lets Sean Levy do a really cool one take going around the set here. So you got to see a crazy shootout one take scene. That's the start of what I'm talking about of different genres in one episode. Now, on the other end, you get to see Hopper in a crazy prison break sequence, basically, and that he literally blows up a tool shed with the dynamite. That was so geniusly written and staged and blocked out. I thought that was such a great, exciting moment. And you even had in the Hopper storyline this character of Yuri appear, who you can't trust clearly. He's a sleaze, but he had great humor here, and he works so well with already the great comedic duo this season of Murray and Joyce. I could actually just watch Murray and Joyce together for a whole show. They're so fun to watch. It's just some great comedic timing between the two of them, and there's a lot of great moments here with them. But the true strength lies in this episode, everything going on with the kids here, and you see that Nancy and Robin, they get to do this exciting storyline together. And I had said in my last episode review, they're a great duo together because of the difference of Robin's the out there one, is a lot of like energy, and Nancy's more reserved, conservative, and responsible. So it works. It's exciting to see them together, and they get to be in disguise here, which was fun, at this mental hospital. And what's cool is you see so many inspirations in this episode with them, like Silence of the Lambs when they're going down to talk to Victor Creel. And this whole season has had the inspiration done with the nightmares and having that A Nightmare on Elm Street vibe. And of course, Freddy Krueger himself then is in this season, which I love. It's a nice little love letter for him to even be in it. And having Robert Englund play Victor Creel here, he was amazing. And he just delivers this incredible, horrific monologue. And that nice reveal that he actually cut his own eyes. It wasn't Vecna. So having that flashback that was just terrifying with his family and tragic was so well done, and letting Robert Englund do his thing and do this monologue was excellent. And that's one of the very amazing monologues in this episode. There's plenty. So you're getting so much here. And then you get even the humor with Nancy and that group is her teasing Steve again. Like, Steve's always babysitting, and it's a running joke in the show, and it always lands. It's just great. And what I loved about what's going on with Steve, Max, and Dustin, which was my favorite part of this episode, was that Lucas came in at the perfect time in the season, and he had to be here for Max's big episode and her big moment. It had to add that weight with having Lucas there. And Sadie Sink, bravo, you should be nominated for an Emmy for this episode. She's only gotten better and better as each season has come along, and she really is showing that through her facial expressions, this doom in her face, this sadness. It's like the last day to live. And with her mom, who's really Vecna, was really powerful by Sadie, but her monologue to Billy was the showstopper, and so powerful what's written there. So props to the writing as well, and her just nailing this monologue, bringing you in, sucking you in, and that is just amazing acting. Is you feel like you are her watching it. It's really powerful, leading to some more crazy horror we get in this. And it's crazy when she's seeing Vecna and she's in the Upside Down. You also see Fred and Chrissy there, which was just terrifying what position they were in. And there's nothing that makes me more giddy than seeing daytime horror. There's something amazing about it, how a juxtaposition of that, and seeing her float in the daytime was insane, and it built such tension and suspense. And what I talked about with every character serving a purpose to the ending story here is that it was Robin and Nancy who thought of the song thing right at the nick of time, contacting Dustin, giving Dustin something to do, running up. That suspense was intense, and I love Kate Bush, so you gotta love that's the music choice for Max here. And it's that nice, again, more juxtaposition where Kate Bush is such happy music, positive music, so that really works against this horror backdrop. And I mean, they really made you think Max was going to die here. I was like, nah, they're not going to do that. But then once they started showing the happy memories, I got really, really worried. I was like, oh no, it's happening. But thank God they didn't. She's too good of a character. And like I said, she literally has the best character arc going for the show right now. So it would have been a criminal mistake to kill her right now. And that's the thing, like shows like this, the last season's next season, if you're going to have the big death, maybe one this season, but save a lot of your good characters for next season. So it's so smart they kept her alive. I was very happy about that. And to have her fall into Lucas's arms was magical, and it reminded me of early season 1 Stranger Things when 11, Dustin, and Mike are hugging each other after those bullies on the cliff. Same kind of powerful feeling. But what this episode did effectively is everything. There's nothing wrong with this episode, in my opinion. I think this is a perfect episode of television. What more can you want? Character, conflict, entertainment, powerful scenes, crazy horror, the most disturbing horror we've seen in this show yet. It just keeps ramping that up. It's a very, very scary show now, which is awesome. So I ain't complaining about that either. So this is a 10 for me. This is the best episode of Stranger Things to date. That's not recency bias. Look at it. I just rewatched all 3 seasons before doing this season, and I'm telling you, this is just a meaty episode. It's an hour and a half. It's like its own movie that's just brilliant, and it gives you so much and no time wasted. I'm giving it a 10. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this one for sure. Again, no spoilers for any episodes after this. Please, please, please. And yeah, let me know what you thought of it. And if you really like what I do here, I appreciate if you give me a tip. It will help me do more videos for you guys full time. You can hit the thanks button down below or become a member, which is even more amazing. It will really help with supporting me to do this full time. I appreciate all of you. And please follow me at Steve Varley Show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for more of me. And a special shout out to my editor who has been pushing through with me, doing all these reviews of Stranger Things, getting out a timely manner. That is Joe Lorenzo. So shout out to him. He is great at what he does and a huge help. And I'll see you guys next time.